Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's EmmadorStyles, and in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make this tube shirt dress. You can also call it a smoky gathered dress. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell to get notifications anytime I upload new videos. So now let's get started. I will be working with this Ankara fabrics. I have my tape rule here, my chalk, and also my elastic thread. I already folded my fabrics into 4 places. I fold it into 4 places because I'm going to be cutting the front and the back piece together. You know, it does not require zip. It's a smoky dress. These are the measurements that I'll be using. I already write them down inside this paper. I have my bust, my half length, my gown length, and my waist. So now let's start by cutting the half length. My half length is 16 inches. So to measure the half length, I'll place my tape rule like this and I'll leave like 7 inches up because it is a tube dress. I'm going to go ahead now and mark out my breast point, which is 10 inches, and my half length, which is 16 inches. I will also mark out my chest line. I got my chest line by deducting 2 inches from my bust point, which is 8 inches. When I'm done marking it out, I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line across the 3 points that I marked out, which is my chest line, my breast point, and my half length. To fold your fabrics in order not to waste it, you're going to take your bust measurement divided by 4. After that, you'll be adding 5 to 6 inches to it. You can even add up to 7 inches depending on your choice, just to be at a safer side. So now I will be marking out my bust measurement, which is 33 divided by 4. Then I'll go ahead to add extra 5 inches to it because this is a smoky dress. As you can see, I went ahead to add extra 5 inches to my bust measurement. That is what I am marking out here. So when I'm done with that, I'll mark out the same measurements I mark out on my bust line, also on my chest line, because this dress does not require an armhole. It is a tube dress. So now the next thing I'll go ahead to mark out is my waist measurement, which is 30 divided by 4. Then I'll add extra 5 inches as well. So when I'm done marking out my waist measurements, I will use my ruler to connect those 3 points together as you see me do like this, and then I will cut it out. So guys, this is what I have for the upper part of my dress. Both the front and back piece have been cut out. To cut the down part, let's do the calculation together. This is my measurement. Remember, the full length of my gown is 40 inches and my half length is 16 inches, which I already cut out for my upper part, right? So now I will deduct the 16 inches from 40, which is going to give me 24 inches. So the 24 inches is going to be for the down part of my dress. Now, the down part of my dress will be divided into 2. I have the first and the second layer. So if you want your layers to be equal, you can simply divide the 24 inches by 2, which will give you 12 inches for both layers. But for me, I don't want my layers to be equal. I want the first layer to be longer. That is why I gave the first layer 14 inches and the second layer will be 10 inches. That is just the illustration. I have the half length, then I also have the first layer, which will be longer than the second layer. That is for the length of the lower part of this dress, both the first and the second layer. Now, to cut the width of this upper layer, I will measure the waist of my upper part, and whatever I get, which is 26 inches, I will multiply it by 2. You can multiply yours by 1.5, you can multiply yours by 2 or even 3 depending on the yards of your fabrics. But me, I multiplied mine by 2. I multiplied mine by 2 and got 52 inches. To cut the first layer of this dress, I want to make sure I fold my fabrics according to the length of my first layer, which is 14 inches. I want to make sure it is up to the 14 inches that I needed for the length, and also add extra 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. 0.75 will be used to join the first layer to the half length, and also the remaining 0.75 will be used to join the first layer to the second layer. So that is how I got my 15.5. 14 for the length and 1.5 for the stitching allowance. So guys, because the table I'm working on is small, I had to fold my fabrics again into two, which makes my fold to be into four. Just watch as I am doing it. So now guys, I will measure my fabrics to make sure that I get up to 52 inches. Thankfully, I am able to get up to 52 inches for the width of my first layer. So guys, I'll measure to where I have 52 inches and mark it out. So I got 26 inches here because my fabrics was folded into 4 places. So that is why I have 26 inches. Then I marked it out. Remember, I am cutting both the front piece and the back piece of the first layer together. I will go ahead now and begin to mark out my 15.5 inches. That is the 14 inches plus 1.5 inches. I'm just going to mark that all through the dress, and I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting, remember to open the part which has been folded so that you can have the front and the back piece. After doing that, the next thing I will do now is to cut the second layer, which is the last layer of my dress. So now to cut the second layer, I will go ahead and measure from this point here to this other end, just the way I did for the half length width while cutting the width of the first layer. I will go ahead and measure the width of the first layer. So whatever it is I get from there, I will multiply it by 2. For mine, I got 52 inches. If you have enough fabrics, you can multiply yours by 3. For mine, I got 52 inches, and when I multiply the 52 inches by 2, I got 104 inches. So now I will just go ahead and cut it out. I'm sorry guys, I had to cut it off camera because of my table, but we will measure it together now for you to confirm the measurement I cut out for the depth of my second layer. Now for the length, as you can see that this second layer is not up to the first layer. That is how I want mine, like I said earlier. I also went ahead to add the 1.5 stitching allowance for the joining to the first layer, and also the allowance for folding it at the down part. So now for the width, I have 104 inches. But when I measure it here, I'm going to have 52 inches because my fabric is on fold. Guys, please understand this. This fabric is on fold. So that is why I will have 52 inches. So 52 inches on fold will give me 104 inches, and I have two of these. I have the one for the front piece and the one for the back piece. This is for the front piece. This is folded into two. Then I have the other one, which is 104 inches for the back piece. This is the one for the back piece. This is also 104 inches, and this one also for the front piece is 104 inches. So now guys, this is the half length that we cut out earlier on. I'm going to fold it in with 1 inch at the upper part here, and I'm going to stitch it down. We will only be stitching the upper part of the half length here. We will not be stitching the lower part of the half length. Please note you are to stitch the upper part of both the front piece and the back piece. This is our first layer, and what I'll be doing now is to run a gathers to the upper part of the first layer. I will not be stitching the down part of my first layer because I'm going to be joining the second layer to it. So guys, I already run a gather stitch on our first layer. As you can see, I also hem the upper part of our half length. So now I'll be joining the half length to the first layer. To join that, I will fold my half length into two. That is the two parts, and I'll go ahead and get the midpoint and mark it out. Also, before running the gathers on my first layer, I already marked out the midpoint. So now I'll make sure the midpoint of my half length and the first layer are facing each other. Please ensure they are right side facing each other. After that, I'll use my pin to pin them down. The reason for me using the pin to pin them down, and the reason for me locating the middle point, is to help me distribute the gathers, so that one side will not be more than the other side. It will help me distribute the gathers evenly. So guys, this is what I had after I was done stitching the first layer to my upper part. So now, to stitch the second layer to the first layer, I will find the middle point of the lower part of my first layer as well and mark it out. I have gotten the middle point of the last layer also before running a gathers on it. So I will place them right side facing each other. I will make sure that the midpoint that I marked out is facing each other as well, and also pin them down just to distribute the gathers evenly. After that, I will also go ahead to run my elastic thread on the half length. I will do that by half inches. After doing that, I will go ahead and do the same thing for the back piece as well. Just take your time and do it carefully. So guys, after doing that, this is basically what we have. I've gone ahead to run the elastic on the half length, as you can see, and it came out really nice. I have also hemmed the down part of the second layer. I want this gown to have a pocket, and I already cut the pocket out. I cut out four pieces, two for the front and two for the back. Each of the four pieces is having 8 inches width, and the length is 12 inches. So now I will take my front piece, and I'm going to place one of the pockets right side facing each other like this at the waist side. I'm going to go up by 1 inch at the waist side to place my pocket, and I'm just going to use my pin to pin it down. I will do the same thing for the other side as well, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for the back piece of my dress. After pinning the pocket, this is what I had. I will just go to the sewing machine to stitch it down. The next thing I'm doing now is to place both the front and back piece together like this, right side facing each other, and just pin it down. When you're doing yours, please take your time, don't rush, because it's going to take your time so that it will be well aligned. You know, this is a stretchy smoky dress. So now I'm going to stitch it with half an inch. When I get to the pocket area, I'm going to enter into the pocket side like this, and when I get to this exact point, I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go back to the waist side at the top. From that point where my stitch is at the top here, I'm going to place my tape there and measure 6 inches for my pocket. So from that point, I'm going to stitch it down to the end of my gown. The part I did not stitch is going to be the opening my hand is going to enter from my pocket. If you are someone with fat hand, you can make it 7 inches instead of the 6 inches. I will do the same thing for the other side as well. So now guys, after stitching, this is what it is looking like. I'm just going to turn it to the right side now. As you can see, this is my pocket. This is the part where I left open. The last thing I'll be doing is to cut out a strap for the dress. I just cut out a long strap with a width of 2.5 inches for both of the strap because I want it to be tiny. So now I'm going to fold it and stitch it. This is what I have after stitching and ironing. To join it to the dress, I will fold my dress into two as you see me do like this. I will ensure it is well folded, the shoulders are touching each other. So for the point where I want my strap to be, I will measure 2.5 inches and mark it out on my front and back piece like this. I will open it up and just pin my strap to the dress. So guys, remember we left 7 inches up at the beginning when we were cutting the half length. So 7 inches for the front and back. That will give us 14 inches. So I will replace the 14 inches now. That 14 inches will serve as the shoulder. I'm going to be adding like 1 into it because I'm going to cross the strap. If I want it straight, I will leave it just like that. But because I want to cross it, I'll be adding extra inch to it. So after doing that, I'll pin it down and do the same thing for the other strap. So guys, after stitching, this is what I had. As you can see, the cross is crossing and our dress is ready. I really love the outcome of this dress. Thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section.